Hi, it's me, Lisa, the Love Coach here, founder of LoveQuestCoaching.com. I'm a certified professional love life coach. I help super smart women and men who can't figure out why their love lives suck. They don't know why. So I also talk about, empowerment, waking up to truth, bettering yourself so that we can better each other, right? That's what it's all about in society, is working on yourself, tapping into the truth of who you really are, and so that you could be more powerful in society, right? You can stand your ground and not get pushed around by these evil people who want to tell you how to live. Okay, so speaking of that, hot topic, this Roe v. Wade, pro-life, pro-choice, whole big thing that has happened in America. I don't know if you're watching from other parts of the world. I get people who see me from all over the place, but these things are happening in America. That's where I live. I live in Florida, beautiful Florida. That's why I dress like this. That's like hot all the time. So I'm happy that you found me. Let's dig right into this content and talking about what feminine, badass women think about abortion. Roe v. Wade, where do we go from here? What do we do? Okay, so I used to be pro-choice. Up until I realized and started to study natural law. Up until I realized that stealing is the foundation of violation of natural law against anybody, right? And against yourself. So if you're stealing a life from someone without self-defense, then it's stealing a life. It's against the morality of natural law. Natural law is rooted in fundamental morality, rights of human based on our Creator. And when I say that, I don't mean religion. I mean Christ consciousness. I mean, think of any religion of the world that was created in its truest essence. Not the exoteric bullshit that was manipulated and massaged and then handed out by the power base to give the slaves, the people, some ridiculous form of religion that they think they're believing in and being good people about. Not it. It's not it. But getting instead to the root. I'll give you an example. People who are very, very in their faith, they have deep spiritual connection with their Creator. However, they don't go to church. They understand the lessons in the teachings of the Bible and the esoteric nature of it and not the exoteric nature of it. Look that up if you want. Anyway, they understand the difference between right and wrong in a deep, profound way, and they live their life in accordance of that, regardless of how outside people, situations may try to manipulate it so they cannot, through other violations of natural law, such as coercion. Anytime somebody else is trying to impose their will upon you, master-slave dynamic, that's what this is about, right? So when we look at the pro-life, pro-choice thing, I always was like, I don't want anybody telling me what I can do and can't do with my body. But then I was like, wait a second though. If I'm going to be a moral, responsible, good person who is not just thinking of herself, then I must know that that is about me taking a life, stealing a life. Now, people will say, but it's not a real baby. It's not a baby yet. Okay, it's a life. It's like the great comedian, Bill Burr, I think his name is, hilarious, said that the whole pro-life, pro-choice thing is basically like, imagine you're baking a cake. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to bake a cake. and I have the powder and the eggs, and I put that together, and I blend it nice. I put it in oven, and in 50 minutes, I'm gonna have a cake. For my birthday, I'm gonna bake my own delicious cake and share it with everybody. And then somebody comes to my kitchen and they open my oven and they go, "That's a cake. It's not yet a cake." They take the cake out and throw it across the floor. And I'm like, "The fuck did you do? Why would you do that? It's my birthday cake. I was baking a cake. I was going to share it with you, and everybody else is coming over later." And they're like, "Well, it wasn't a cake yet." Well, it was going to become one before you came and fucked it up. That's, in a nutshell, how that was communicated. So creatively with wit was that. Basically, this whole thing about, this argument between, abortion and all this. Number one, it wasn't a right. Okay, so this whole argument about, "Oh, it's my right, it's my right." Okay, so yes, under natural law, you do have a right to your body. Yes, your body, right? Nobody can strong arm you, physically harm you, nothing. If they do it, you have every right to another natural law, which is that of self-defense. Problem is, this is not about your body. It's about the baby's body that has not yet become a body, but it is a life. It is still a life. Right? And there's science to back that up. Not scientism propagated bullshit, communist science, but actual science. And I suggest you research that if you're going to have that argument. If you're going to comment in my thread about, this whole pro-life, pro-choice thing, look into eugenics, look into the science of when life occurs, and also look into natural law. I suggest checking out a gentleman named Mark Passio. And then we can have a conversation and a debate, if necessary, about this topic of morality. Because that's really what it is. It's morality. And when you get to the root of eugenics and why abortion became a thing in the first place, then you will understand exactly why this whole mess that we're in between men and women and the battle between the two is what we find. But what we want to talk about now is feminine women being badasses. True feminine women are badass, meaning they take full responsibility for all outcomes in their life. Full responsibility, meaning if you don't want to ever have an abortion, don't get yourself knocked up. And furthermore, what about the cases of rape, Lisa? What about rape? You could get raped. This is where this programming, this Neo Feminism programming thing that's happening, that's what they'll come back with. And then I'll say, well, you can exercise your Second Amendment here in America and you can get a firearm, and you could, in many states, which you can move to if you live in a state that makes it very difficult for you to exercise your right to defend yourself. Right? You can move and you could live in a state like I live in Florida. And here we have carry, conceal weapons, licenses for your weapons. Right? It's a pain in the ass. It violates natural law. This shouldn't have any need for any licensure. It's stealing your ability to have your own possessions. Right? It's a barrier. It's an infringement. But I get it. We're functioning in a society and there are things that, whether we agree with it or not, we gotta do. So you do those things, right? I'm 5'3". I go shopping at mall. I park my car in garage. Some bad person, evil bad man can come up, try to, honey, I am fighting to the end. Because I understand that it is my right under natural law that I could beat the ever-living shit out of anybody who tries to put their hands on me and harm me in any way. Furthermore, I can even kill them. If I have my gun in my cute little crossbody bag, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this man's pushing me," and I take out my gun, safety off, just the mode of doing that. Don't you think that's gonna deter somebody? So the real answer here, in my opinion, again, opinion, I just share this with you just to open your mind, help you think of another way of looking at stuff so that you're not just believing what you see on TV. Wouldn't it be better for all women to be like badass feminine women who know how to operate and own a firearm to keep themselves safe and potentially others too, and can even physically fight and defend themselves if need be? There are plenty of ways that you can learn how to have self-defense, right? Why not learn that? So I believe the whole pro-choice thing is basically rooted in a bunch of women who were programmed through media, dark occultists, education system of propaganda and indoctrination, to be children, to be forever children, so that they can have their lives dictated by the state. That's okay, we'll take care of you. We're a big daddy government, because you have daddy issues. You got mommy and daddy issues. You haven't sorted your own shit out. As I awakened, the more connected I got to my own truth of my own self and relationship between me and the creator of all that is, the more truth opened up for me, and the more I started to really understand right and wrong. And so when we have these people running around screaming like toddlers, having a tantrum that they can't have abortions, what they're really saying is, see me, hear me, I feel little and small, I wasn't loved right, I don't love myself, I have anger issues, I wish my dad loved me differently, I wish my mom wasn't such a bitch. This is what this is manifesting. This whole thing is a manifestation of that. That's what we're seeing. This big battle, and it was engineered. It was totally engineered. So what's the remedy, right? So don't come at me with this whole pro-choice narrative of brat screaming like a toddler who isn't getting their toy in a store, and instead step into action. Step into action. How can I prevent getting pregnant? Right? We live in a society where we can prevent pregnancy. Here's one. Stop fucking every piece of shit that gives you attention. Right? Stop it. Work on yourself. See, now I'm giving you the things that feminine, badass women, they do these things. Feminine, badass women, number one, make it a point to know how to defend themselves. Whether it be with exercising their Second Amendment right of having a firearm and training on how to use it safely and effectively and efficiently. So it's like, one shot and you're done. None of this panic and shaking. No, it's breath work, right? It's understanding your body, understanding being with yourself when you are in nervousness or stress, and understanding how to use your ability to breathe, to center yourself. It's very spiritual. Which is number 3. Badass feminine women are very spiritual. They're not religious, but they're spiritual, meaning they have a deep connection to the creator of all that is, and they understand right from wrong, and their actions are aligned with the words that they speak. Feminine, badass women. Feminine, badass women are also incredibly respectful of men. And a badass feminine woman is on the scene when you just feel lighter. You just feel like this lady comes up. You might have one at your workplace that you can think of, right? Out of all the feminine, the women that are at your job. Think about it. There are usually a 1 or 2 who, when they enter the room, it's like, Mary Beth is here. Catherine's here. Tanya's here. Like they have this calming, mother, all is well kind of energy. They don't have to even be a mom. I'm not mom. never had kids, because back in my 30s when I was married, I was conditioned to be obsessed with the rat race of career and buying stuff and going on vacations and buying more stuff. And I couldn't for the life of me see how a child can possibly fit into that world. So I took birth control pills. And I ended up almost having cervical cancer because of all the birth control pills and whatever else, and the energy around my sacral chakra that said, no babies, right? So I had to do energy clearing, energy work, step into my feminine, because I was very highly masculine in my mind. I was very in my mind and not in my soul, not in my core. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Feminine women often start out programmed, leaning more masculine, fighting, combative, competition with men, feeling competition. I have to compete with you, fight with you, right? Feminine women are not interested in that fight because they are aware of the masculine, divine, delicious. Oh my God, love me a masculine man. And they respect them, and they know, badass feminine woman, despite the fact that I know how to shoot gun and, all that. And, I would gladly love for my man to put me behind him, to take the lead and protect me. A protector from whatever. You have this respect as a feminine woman for the true essence of the masculine male. And you are balanced. You have your masculine energy and you have your feminine energy. And you are a whole-centered woman. Not like these Neo Feminist brats that we see screaming about, I can't get abortions anymore. All right, well, don't get pregnant. Don't get knocked up. Stop. And furthermore, and I'll say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it because I bring the truth. And maybe I'm the only one who sees this. I don't think I am. But it is odd to me. My hair is doing this weird thing. Okay. It is odd to me that most of these raging, lunatic, they seem mentally off women who are raging angry about this inability now to have an abortion, which isn't even the truth. They're so ignorant. They don't even know what the law is and how it changed. They think all of a sudden they can't get abortion. Not true. They just put it to the states for the states to decide. And yes, there are some states that went full on. We are a pro-life state. You cannot get an abortion in this state. Bravo to those states. Bravo, bravo. But ultimately, we people should not be relying on other people to tell us how to be moral and live life under natural law. If you live under natural law, then we don't need these laws. We don't need governors. We don't need presidents. We don't need those fake leaders. We don't need them. So point is, if you do the right thing, nobody messes with you. And if you do the right thing for yourself, you have a great life of ease and flow and abundance and beautiful experiences. And yes, life comes with hardship. It definitely, it's change and flow. It's what happens. It's how we grow. But this segment of the population who are raging right now are behaving like a bunch of toddlers. And so I wanted to just take this time to address this on this video. I hope this served you well. If you are an enlightened female or an enlightened male and you are asking these curious questions and you are having struggles with dating and relationships and you want to know how you can attract a fellow evolved human to fall in love with, have a family with, instill good values in children if you choose to have them, or in one another and out into the world, then hang out with me, please. I run a social media group on Facebook called the Self-Love Club. That's one way to get in with like-minded people who are having these high vibrational conversations about consciousness, about how to be better. And we look at different social issues, different things that are happening in our world, and we explore it from the case of, or the better said, the space of moral consciousness, natural law, understanding the truth within, and when you look at something, what is right and what is wrong, and turning out all that noise of manipulation through media and all of this crap, and really just connecting with other people and getting a sense of support that you are not alone in your thinking. This is clown world. We are living in clown world, and it is up to us, the people of elevated consciousness, the people who are looking at videos like this for 25 minutes, who are online searching, asking questions. We all need to come together. And when we unite, you think these people are going to start to try to make people enslaved more? No. When the people of higher consciousness start to unite, and not just be siloed and afraid and by themselves, and they're sitting there looking at clown world and they're like, I want to say this, but if I do, I'm going to get fired. And I want to say this, but if I do, then my sister's going to be mad at me. And stop that shit. Stop that shit. I created an environment where you can speak freely, because we all have to make it our moral, ethical, and social obligation to speak truth. There's a lot of shit going on that is making morality decline and therefore enslaving us further. This is a natural law of freedom. If we have more moral, the higher morality is in a society, the more free they are. The more immoral the aggregate of society is, meaning you take everybody and you look at everybody, you average it out, and you're like, no, we're immoral as fuck. We're eating shit. We are having sex, random Tinder, let's fuck this girl tonight attitude, right? It's a me first, very satanic programming type of attitude. That leads to immorality, which then leads to more state, government, intervention, rule, control over mankind, over society. And so people will see this video and be like, yeah, but Roe v. Wade it reversed, and that's about control. That's trying to control me. That's controlling me. It's the same, that brat. And again, it is not about you. It's about your fucked up decision to accidentally get pregnant. Sorry, but there's the truth. Every single choice we make comes with consequence. That is the natural law of consequentiality. See, you can't just live your fucking life thinking you're going to do whatever the fuck you want without consequence. See, and so the more that we unite and be solid and strong in our truth without any fear of saying something like I just said, that's how we win. So if you're a winner, click on the info below in the description. See how we can hang out more. I have a yummy, delicious self-love, it's a love life assessment that I offer for free on my website, LoveQuestCoaching.com. So if your love life is just weird and things are just always the same problems over and over again, we can get to the bottom of what's going on with that. I look forward to connecting with you. If you're on Instagram, you can find me at Lisa the Love Coach over there. Drop me a DM. I'm super, into connecting with the people who find me. And I love you for sticking around and listening to this whole thing, and share this kind of content with other people, because we all need to be in this to get out of this clown world, and morality and courage. That's how you are a badass female, feminine woman who takes no shit, does no harm. Much love to you guys and girls. I'll see you soon. Bye.